Hey there. Start here. The Murder Bunny is back, y'all. It's been a long time since I've actually been able to bring Best Bunny Girl into a trial, like a legitimate trial, and have some fun with her and actually use her as a DPS, not just bring her in as an Omni cover tank. Now, of course, this is just for fun. It's a bit of a silly clear, like we have Crimson Knight Rain here, who is here purely for the leader skill. I just, since I had Rain, I kind of wanted to see like how far can I push Esther now. Now Esther is like 3 years old at this point, which in FFBE years is like 80. So she's basically geriatric at this point in the game. But we are going to do our best to inject some life into this girl, and she is the Energizer Bunny. She just keeps going, and we are going to get it done. And I figured, Safer Sephiroth EXT, it's a good one to take her into because it's not a very challenging trial. Survival is generally not an issue, but it's also not like super simple. Like we're not just gonna first turn kill. It's not gonna be an OTK trial. I wanted something that would take a little bit longer. Now, I'll go ahead and tell you right off the bat. Can she compete with NV Plus units? No. Short answer is no. But her base stats are just super low. Her LB mod is super low. Now we're gonna do as much as we can to actually bump up her LB mod in this fight, so that she can actually dish out somewhat respectable damage. We'll see in the damage report at the end. She's not going to beat the 1-star Celeste friend that I have. I managed to find a 1-star Celeste friend on my friends list, and even so, Esther cannot beat even a 1-star NV Plus Celeste. So, but she is going to do she's going to do her best, and she's going to do well enough to get us through. This will be a 5-turn clear, by the way. And yeah, we're gonna get in here, and we are going to get it done. I'll show you the gear real quick. So Melissa, basically just a passive provoke unit with 100% evade. That's for the physical attacks. That's all she really needs. She doesn't need to be, whoops. That's all she really needs. She doesn't need to have anything fancy. Just some gear to give her, perfect provocation for the the provoke. And then, escape artist, evade, blah, blah, to make her full evasion, right? That's all she really needs. So she is just double checking. Yeah, 100% evasion and 100% provoke. Great. Sylvie, she doesn't really need anything. Yeah. She's sort of a backup provoke unit, I guess, just in case Melissa dies for some reason, but it never happens, so you don't have to worry about that. In her Brave Shift form, I did give her Sword of Kings because it has a Nethicite ability to steal a magic attack. And I had that on there because on turn 4, Sephiroth is going to dispel us, and it's supposed to be sealable, but no matter what I do, it doesn't seal the dispel. So we're just going to have to, take the dispel to the face on turn 4, and it is what it is. I'm not sure why it's supposed to be sealable, because it is like dispel good the magic, so she is supposed to be able to seal that, but it's not getting sealed. So maybe it's a bug. I don't know. Esther. So Esther, we have the new Dark Visions Greatsword on her, so she's got that increased variance. All right, we're doing everything we can to buff up our bunny girl. She's got all the clash gear, right? I'm doing everything I can. I could do the ruler's chainmail, but I didn't want to swap that because I have the ninja's chainmail on one of my friend units for one of the serious trials, so I didn't want to change that. But she does have Magister's Ring because she does need Chain Cap boost, so she's got that. Emperor's Ring. I'm doing everything I can to buff her up, so she's got almost 21,000 attack, which, considering like it was hard for her to break 10,000 not that long ago, this is pretty impressive for her. This is, of course, with Rain's 1250 leader skill. All right, but yeah, so that's pretty fun to see her break 20,000 attack. Never thought I'd actually see her be able to do that. It's pretty awesome. And then, we've got human killers. So, Chaotic Malice is nice. That's from the Chaotic Darkness trial. So that gives her 100% human killer. Soldier's Expertise, which is, of course, from this trial. Another 100%. Fairy Light's Vengeance gives her an extra 50% because she doesn't have much human killer in her kit. And then, of course, she has Lakshmi Esper for the human overkiller. I gave her Wilhelm's card because that works on everybody. Gives her 1,000 flat attack, which is pretty sweet on a 170 card. So she is overkillered on human. Plenty of LB damage. Good to go. In her Brave Shift form, I've given her a couple of things. I've given her the High Celestite Pendant of Will. This is not the upgraded version, it's just a regular version, okay? Which will give her a 25 times mod boost, which, every little bit counts. We'll use that during the fight. We've also got Tyvis' Spirit, which will give her a 30 times mod boost to her LB. So again, every little bit counts. All right, and that's all she really needs in a Brave Shift form. That's all we care about. All right. Rain, he is here purely as a tank. All right. I'm not using him. I will not use any, pretend he's an EX0. Actually, even an EX0, he would still out damage Esther, but we're not going to talk about that. He is here purely to tank and support. So that's all he's doing here is tanking and supporting. So, he's just got he's got a good spread of elemental resists. All you really need to worry about elemental wise is fire and earth. So as long as you've got plenty of fire and earth resist, he's good to go. We're not even looking at his Brave Shift form because we don't care. Oh, almost forgot about Nora. She is very forgettable, of course. The only important thing that we need from Nora is the High Celestite Bracer, which she is going to use on Esther, which will extend all of Esther's LB mods for 5 turns, so we don't have to worry about reapplying those mods and things like that. And also her SLB, which will do a 25 times mod for Esther as well. Okay, so yeah, what we're doing is we're just trying to stack as many of these LB modifiers on Esther as possible to try and get her LB mod up to something that's comparable to, a more modern unit. Certainly not like an NV plus modifier. We're not going to get anywhere near that high. But I think she eventually, I think on turn 5, when we do our turn 5 boost, I think her LB mod is something like 625, which is pretty good considering her original mod is like 375. So we're able to do quite a bit. Having Sylvie in the party gives her straight off the bat an extra 100 times modifier too. So yeah, she's got a lot of that going on for her. So my friend unit. You may be asking why am I not bringing a friend Esther? That's what the Murder Bunny series is all about. And of course, the answer is Esther's field. Esther's field is, when Esther came out, her field was amazing because, fields weren't really, they were kind of in their infancy, and most fields were just like amp fields, and they were very low, like 25, maybe 30% was like a big deal for an amp field. And Esther's 100% LB field was basically comparable to a 35% elemental field. And so having that, man, it was amazing. There weren't that many imperil fields in the game at that point either, and so that wasn't really a thing. Like, you didn't really need imperil fields. And then, of course, the 12 types trials came out. And, after the first 4, which, Esther just crushed, then they started coming out the ones with, 250% elemental resist. And you had to have an imperil field to beat those bosses. That's when Esther just kind of fell off the map, because her LB field would instantly just replace all of those fields. And it just became such a nightmare trying to maintain imperil fields with Esther as a damage dealer. I mean, it could be done. I've done a few videos from back in the day. I think it was Rafflesia was the first one. And man, that one was hard. It was really hard with Esther. And I couldn't bring a friend Esther because that would just ruin it. So I think I had Chizuru and Esther as my damage dealers on that fight. And even then I was just barely making the turn count. Unfortunately that just kind of killed Esther, and they never fixed her LB field to be ally side only. That would have been a huge fix. That would have solved so many issues for Esther if they had just made it ally side They never did. So Esther just fell into obscurity. Essentially, she, still well recognized for her tanking abilities, but as a damage dealer, that just kind of killed her. So, anyways, that issue still remains. So, friend unit has to be somebody else that's not an Esther, or else we're gonna, have issues with our fields. Celeste is perfect for being a friend with Esther, because she's also a great sword user, has a 40% great sword in peril, so she works really well with Esther. Plus she's got the lightning amp field. She chains extreme nova, so she works really well. And a lot of people out there have really strong Celestes, and they, of course, they just blow Esther out of the water. So I wanted to try and find a Celeste that was a little bit closer to Esther. And so, thank you to this friend who has this 1-star, still NV plus, and still obviously stronger than Esther, but a little bit closer. And so, the basic gear, we're not too concerned about Celeste's normal form. Just want to make sure she has some decent gear in her Brave Shift form, where she's going to be dealing most of her damage. So it does have a Ring of Conqueror for the Chain Cat boost, which is good, because I don't think she gets full Chain Cat boost until EX2. So yeah, very good catch on that one, so that you have your Chain Cap there. And then, yeah, just a good smattering of resist. Nice card. I think full-on human killers, yep, looking good. Great. Okay. So, yeah, with this team, we should easily be able to knock out Sephiroth in 5 turns. If we come up short on turn 5, it's not a problem. We just finish him off on turn 6. So let's figure out how, or let's watch and see how we get this one done. All right. So to start off, Sylvie, all she has to do is start a lightning ramp. Okay. So we're just going to start that off. Make sure I'm doing the right one. That was lightning, right? I always freak out I'm doing the earth one. Yep. So that's our lightning ramp. Esther is going to shift. We didn't start her in a shift because I didn't want her cover to activate, because I didn't want her to like jump out and cover. So we kept her in normal form. So we're going to shift. We'll do Tyvis's Spirit for the 30 times mod boost, and that will last this turn and the following turn, obviously. The Celeste is just going to do Dazzling Neon for the field. Nora is just going to do a Magic Entrapment for the Imperil field. Rain is just going to do, we'll just do Shelga, cover. Actually, he doesn't even need to do Shelga. He can just do cover. We'll go ahead and do Shield Crusher, which has a 40% Great Sword in peril. The breaks don't matter because you can't break Sephiroth. And then we'll do Elemental Shelter for the elemental buffs. Melissa is going to do... she's going to do Shared Immunity, Chronic Flow, and we'll just do Shelga. Why not? All right, so Sephiroth's going to do some AoE fire magic, which Rain is perfectly resistant to. He'll then do some single target either physical attacks or single target earth magic. So either way, we're covered because Melissa is provoking with evasion, and if it's the magic attack, then Rain is covering it with full immunity. All right, so Melissa is now going to do Shared Immunity to get rid of her ailments, Human Killer on Esther, and then we'll do Parasol Shield for the, human mitigations. Why not? All right, Esther is now going to come and she'll do True Storm Brand, Energizing Bunny, and Calm Before the Storm. Sylvie's going to go ahead and do her Brave Shift at LB, which does a small mod boost. It's only like 10 times, but every little bit counts. So now that Esther has done all of those mod boosts, we're going to lock those in for the next 5 turns with Gilded Bracer. Okay. So that locks in Sylvie's mod boost, that locks in Tyvis's Spirit, and it locks in her own mod boost. So we don't have to bother reapplying that later. Okay. Now the friend unit is just going to do, we'll do Dazzling Neon again anyways, Coordinated Teamwork and Electric Battery. Rain is just going to do Shelga, Cover, and Elemental Shelter again. All right, because we have been dispelled, so we got to reapply his cover, buffs, all that jazz. Okay. So there he covers the fire magic again. All right, now Sephiroth has put up 1 stack of Mirage, so we do have to make sure we get rid of that. And we'll have Rain do that. So Rain will just do, he'll do incremental energy, soul thrust to get rid of that Mirage, and then impending force for the attack and mag breaks, because he is going to do some non-elemental magic damage. So we want to make sure we've broken his attack and mag so that Rain doesn't die. All right, Nora's going to do her SLB, which does a mod boost to everybody with morale LBs, which does include Esther. Okay. We're going to do, just to be fair to the friend unit, we're going to do Human Killer on them as well. We don't need anything else, actually. So Human Killer on the friend unit. Okay. Friend unit's going to shift for the LB. Okay. Now, just to make sure that that the field the fields are not overwritten for the friend unit. All right. So that's the thing with, if you're ever bringing Esther into the fight as a damage dealer, which you probably shouldn't these days anymore. But hey, if you want to have some fun, she is still very, very fun. You always tap the other damage dealer first, right? Because Esther's damage comes before her field, so she will actually, so her field's not gonna come into play until after she's dealt the damage, which works really well because she can still take advantage of the fields that are in play right now. But anyone that goes after her will have the fields replaced with the LB damage field. So we have to send Celeste first and then Esther. Okay. Now we're sending them together. You just tap Celeste first. All right. So let's do that. Nice. All right. So Sylvie is just going to start another lightning ramp on this turn. That's all she's got to do. Okay. All right. So this is just another setup turn. All right. Esther's going to shift. She's going to do Gilded Pendant this time for another mod boost. Melissa's going to do her SLB on herself so that she can cast her Seconds of Support next turn for another 60 times mod boost to Esther's LB. It's also going to provide the 80% general mitigation to the party to make sure that we don't die from Pale Horse, which is the attack that he's going to do on this turn, which does a 300% HP damage. So you have to use, 80% general mitigation. I guess you could use 75%, right? Yeah, you could do 75% general mitigation and still get away with it. You just have to have a reasonably high general mitigation to make sure you survive Pale Horse. Okay, so that's what she's going to do. We're going to come back to normal with Celeste. We're just going to do Dazzling Neon to re-up the amp field and Magic Entrapment to re-up the Imperil field. Rain on this turn honestly doesn't need to do anything. He can just guard. And Sylvie is going to do, so here's where, here's the issue that I have. So this is supposed to seal one magic cast by the boss, and it only works on actual magic, like magic spells like Blizzaga or Fireaga or Dispelga. And so on this turn, he's going to do Fly Up again, which does the Mirage stacks. Then he's going to do Pale Horse, and then he's going to do Dispelga. And so this is supposed to seal the Dispelga, but as you're going to see, it does not. So, we have all of our, you see we have all these buffs and everything in play. We've got our killers, we got all these buffs. Nothing's going to expire, but as you're going to see, we're going to get dispelled anyway. So, I'm doing it just to show you that it's, for whatever reason, the Dispelga is not actually sealable as it's supposed to be. Okay, so there's the Dispelga, but as you're going to see, we have been fully dispelled. Okay, so now the good thing is all of these like LB mod, all these LB mod boosts are non-dispellable, which is really nice. So that helps out a lot. You know, having these LB mods be undispellable is really, really great. And the fact that, you know, Sylvie's ramping amp and imbue, you know, that just means we don't have to worry about that either. So it all kind of works out. So trying to seal the Dispelga isn't really that big of a deal. The only thing that sucks is that you lose the killers, but it is what it is. So I'm going to do I've Got Your Back on the friend unit, and then I'll just do a double Clever Paladin Strike. Okay. So that'll get rid of the Mirage, and we're going to do Human Killer on Esther, Seconds of Support on Esther, and what else should we do? I guess we do Minutes of Might. Okay. All right, so we come back. All right, LB Shift. LB. Now, it also means Celeste has lost her LB mod. So she has some LB mod boosts on her, like the one from Nora's SLB, but that's the only one that's active. She loses her own LB mod because for whatever reason they decided to make it dispellable. Thanks, Gumi. And Rain can basically just sit and watch. If we don't kill, well, I tell you what, we'll do it just in case. He's going to do Shelga, Cover, and elemental shadow, or elemental whatever that's called, and yeah, so he's just going to do that to make sure that we don't die next turn. Okay, and yeah, this should clean up the boss. Like, this should kill Sephiroth from here. It shouldn't be an issue, but we'll see. Maybe we'll come up short and then we just kill him on turn 6. No problem. One percent. You got to be kidding me. That is too funny. All right, so there you go. No problem. I love that. 1%. 1%. Oh my. All right. So all we got to do here is we'll just do Paladin's offense, defense, Bolt Egg Basket. Okay, Melissa's just going to do Human Killer on the friend. And we're just going to chain this guy to death. So let's just do Bolting, Calm. All right, we'll do Speedy Battlefield. We'll do Triple Enigma. We'll just get everybody in on the action, right? Why not? Okay. All right, there you go. Taking care of business. All right, we got the Electric Bunny in the atmosphere. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, man, 1%. I love that. I love that we come up short like that. Okay, let's see the damage spread. All right, and we'll see, even with all those mod boosts and everything, even with all those mod boosts, a 3-star, an EX3 Esther, all those mod boosts, see how she compares to an EX1 Envy plus Celeste. And yeah, there you go. I mean, that's, I mean, you know, yeah, it's not bad, you know, 6.6 billion, you know, she's giving it her all. She's giving it her all, you know. I would like to say that, you know, that's still reasonably competitive. But yeah, anyways, this is just me having a little bit of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're still struggling with Sephiroth, maybe this strategy will work for you. I don't know. Give it a try. If you're still, you know, still having issues. Obviously, if you do have a Crimson Knight Rain, make sure you actually use him as a damage dealer, because he's, you know, that's part of his job is to deal damage. But here he was just providing the leader skill for Best Bunny Girl and tanking taking the fight for us. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it was entertaining, to say the least. Love you guys. Not too much else to do out there in the game. So we've got the boss rush coming up this week after maintenance. I will definitely be doing some boss rush clears after maintenance this week. So, you know, we've got that to look forward to. And then, you know, whatever comes next week, you know, next week is probably going to be the last like real content we get in this game for the foreseeable future. So, you know, we'll at least have something to do for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, so thank you guys for following me, and I'll see you on the other side.